Hi, Sarah. Sorry this took me a little bit to get to you. So, looking at your program here, some of the problem that we're having most. Hi, Sarah. It's Miss Boylan. Sorry I didn't get this to you sooner. So, the thing that we're having a problem with here is, for one, it's great that we've got a lot of that you're trying your hand at using methods, but the truth is we really don't need all of these methods. Okay, so you've got a couple of methods here that we definitely do need, and then the rest of them we're going to have to get rid of. Okay, so first off, so the assignment asks for you get user input, which you've made attempts to get user input, and that's good, right? So you're going to get user input. You're going to ask the user for their name. You're going to ask the user for their age. You're also going to make a variable for yourself that stores your age. And then you're going to use a relational operator like less than, equal to, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to, or equal to. Those are all your choices. There's 6 of them. So then you're going to use a print statement to compare the user's age to your age, right? And then you're going to, well, actually, let's stop this. Hi, Sarah. How you doing? It's Miss Boylan. I'm sorry this took me a little bit to get made for you. So I wanted to take a look at the program example that I gave you, and I want to break it down like how it works. And I want to explain some things. So with regards to like methods, like why do we use them? Okay, so methods generally are things that we don't have to have happen a lot or often. They just sit off to the side and we call them when we need them, right? They just sit over there. The bulk of our program is going to be run in the main method, okay? The main. And then we build these other methods that just sit out there on the side and wait to happen. And we call them when we need them. We say, hey, I need you. And then the method, it does its process. And then all of the action returns, so the action is in the main, right? That's where the action of the program happens, is in the main. We can only run a program from the main. So the action is in the main, and then we need to, we briefly leave the main to go, we call a method and we go to that method. The action happens in the method briefly, and then after it's done, then it returns back to the main and it continues to work through the rest of the main. If it needs another method, we call that method. The action then focuses to the method. It does its thing. When it's done, then it comes back to the main, okay? But basically, most of the stuff that we need to have is happening inside of the main, okay? So let's break down this program right here, like where are stuff and where is it not. So you'll notice here, so the first 2 lines are user prompt, right? So what is your name? How old are you? The Rachel and the 48, that's me and my age, right? And those are the inputs that I've provided. But the first 2 are prompts. So the user was prompted to put in their name, then the user typed their name. The user was prompted to put in their age, they put in their age, okay? So these things are happening within the main. Okay, so we're prompting the user in the main for their name. We get their name in the main. We prompt the user for their age. We get their age in the main. Okay, so then the next thing that we want to do is we want to print this line. Now this line is where you are going to show your example or your understanding. You're going to demonstrate to me how you know how to write a void method, right? So you write a void method, and the only thing that is, that the void method does is it prints a line. So we write this method, we, create it appropriately, correctly, using Java. We make it a void method, it prints a line, and then in the main, so after I've asked how old you are, and I've gotten your age, then in the main, I'm going to call that method that I created to print the line. Okay, so once the line is printed, then I move on. So now we're back in the main again. Okay, so we're in the main, and now I'm just going to print out. I'm just going to kind of mirror everything, all of the input that was given to me. I'm going to mirror that you told me your name. Your name then is Rachel in this example. I'm going to mirror that you gave me your age. I mirror that your age, you are 48 years old. Okay, so that's these next two lines. Then I've got a true-false statement. Okay, so in addition to having a variable that stores the user's name, having a variable that stores the user's age, you're going to have a variable that stores your own age. So then in this true-false statement, which is also occurring in the main, you're going to create a print statement that gives a little bit of clarification, right? So here it says true, false, you are older than me. And then you can't see it, but behind this red arrow, it says true. Okay. So, let's see. So, the true, false, you are older than me. That's all clarifying text for the user. The true or the false, it comes from the evaluation of, the user's age versus your age. Okay. There's a comparison there with a relational operator. Depending on how that comparison goes, you're going to get a true or false. Okay. So then the next thing we have is we have a statement that happens in the main. Okay. Our ages combined is, but then it has this highlighted area. Okay. The highlighted area, the 95, is what is returned from a return method. So you're going to create a return method that accepts two ages, sums the ages, and then returns the ages to the main method. Okay, so that's what happens here. You print this statement that says our ages combined, and then you call that return method. When you call that return method, you send two ages to the return method. The return method goes, oh, thank you very much. I'll take those ages, I'll add them together, and then I'll return their sum. When it returns the sum, it prints that sum here to the screen. Okay, so then after you call that return method, then the last thing you need to do is print this delimiter just like you did up here by calling the method that you created, the void method, to create this line. Okay, that's what happens. You're going to have a main method. Bulk of the stuff is happening there. All your prompts are happening there. Your calls to your methods are happening there. You should have two other methods. One that prints a delimiter and one that gets two ages, adds them together, and returns. Okay, so now let's take a look at your stuff real quick, okay? So remember I said we're going to have three methods essentially, but we're going to have the main method. You always have to have a main method, okay? So we have to have a main method, and then we need to have two other methods. One is a void method to print a delimiter. One is a return method to get two ages, add them together, return them. Okay, so you've got this print divider. You've got a public static void print divider. This is a perfect method for printing that line. That's good. We're going to keep that one. Okay, so then I've got this one here. You have the public static int return addition, and it says your age, my age. That's perfect. Okay, it's accepting those two ages. It's going to sum them, and then it's going to return them. Now, I will tell you, you see this statement here in the center, our ages combined is sum. You do not include that. A return method doesn't work that way. Okay, a return method does something, and it returns something. It does not print things. Okay, so that statement does not happen here. Okay, so this method is good. This method is good, but needs some modifications. All of the other stuff that is happening should not be happening in their own methods. They should be happening in the main, right? So you're going to, this is good. This right here, you create the scanner object input. Perfect. You have to have that. It happens in the main. You create a variable for your name. Perfect. It happens in the main. You prompt for the user's name. Perfect. It happens in the main. your name. You get this, right? You get the user's input and you initialize your name. That's perfect. It happens in the main. This return your name, we don't need that because we're not having a method. These things, these lines here, scanner, string, system out, your name, all of those need to be placed within the main method, okay? The rest of this return your name method, we don't need it. It needs to be deleted, okay? So all of these things into the main except for this return your name line. Okay, so then let's move on to the next one, return your age. Okay, so well, let's see, return your name. You already declared a scanner object called input. So in return your age, you're also having another scanner object. We don't need two scanner objects. We just need the one, and it just needs to happen in the main, okay? So we don't need this line, okay? So this is good though. The declaration for your age, the variable declaration for your age, perfect. Then there's a variable declaration for my age, which is really your age, 17. That's perfect. And then we prompt the user for their age. All of these things, they need to be happening in the main. So we prompt the user for their age, and then, yep, we get their age and we store it to the variable your age. So these are all good. So starting here from int, this int line, this system out print, this your age, they all stay in the main. They all get moved to the main, okay? Everything else is not necessary and needs to be thrown away. Okay, we keep the print divider statement and we keep the return addition, make some modifications. This print my age does not need to happen, okay? It doesn't need to happen. So you've got almost everything. You've written almost everything. It's just not in the right place, right? It just needs to be put into the main. You are missing something. You're missing the statement that needs to happen within the main that compares, you know, your age to my age and gives the user some guidance. You know, is it true or false? My age is more than your age. Okay, you're missing that statement. The other thing you're missing is you're missing calls to these methods, this print divider and this return addition. Calls happen in the main. Generally speaking, calls happen in the main. Okay, so you have almost everything that you need here. It's just really, it's in the incorrect location. Okay, so move things to the main and then clean up some of this, clean up this return addition, delete all of the other methods besides the print divider and the return addition methods. All the rest need to go bye-bye. We need to add that statement that uses a relational operator to compare the ages, and then you call your methods, okay? You put them in the correct, you know, order within the main so that it looks similar to this, okay? So you've got a lot. You've really got a lot here. You just need to massage it a little bit and put it in the right order, okay? So I hope that this helps. And good luck.